I'm concocting a plan to build a DIY extension leg. So maybe this will help you guys in your projects. I don't know. But my plan is, I have this old 1.25 inch electrical conduit just hanging around. I bought some feet levelers for about, I don't know, $3 at my local hardware store. And then I found this perfect handle for one of my tools that actually will fit in here with a little bit of sanding. So my plan is gonna be, cut this piece in half, make this a tight fit, glue it in there, and then install a leveling foot. And these will become my new leveling legs. So let's see how it goes. I have no idea if it's gonna work. Maybe I'll recommend it to you, maybe I won't, but for about $13 total, this piece of conduit 3 years ago was like $10, so I'm assuming it's gotta be pretty close. I'm hoping to get a set of really decent legs, and if I paint them up, they should look pretty nice. So let's do it. Let's see how it goes, and yeah, walk you through the process. So luckily I have the other leg as a template. I'm just gonna trace them and cut them with a jigsaw with a metal blade. As you're probably gonna tell, I don't have much metalworking experience here, so definitely leave some tips in the comments because I could use them for the future. But trace, cut, and that should be good. And then we'll drill some holes to fit the underside of that extension table. I'll just use this as a template, but we'll get to that after. These Milwaukee ink saws are awesome, by the way. Work so much better than Sharpies. It'll work. Now I'm going to mark the holes using the existing bracket. In theory, this should all work out great. I am going to cheat the holes down a little because I noticed that these are really on the top here and I don't really want to drill so close to the top of this pipe. So here are the legs mocked up on the saw. Overall, I'm really pleased in how it came out. I mean, for 13 bucks, they're really sturdy. You know, of course, this one, I didn't bolt it in all the way, but you know, in terms of the rigidity, they're actually pretty good. I was afraid there's gonna be too much flex with the conduit pipe, but this is pretty heavy walled, so you're really not too worried about it. The first one here was the slam dunk. I just drilled a couple holes, and of course I didn't adjust it yet, but I can adjust that leveler out to make this nice and solid. I'll do that in the future. Over here, you know, the leg was a little more difficult to install. As you can see, I couldn't install it inline where the mounting location should be. So I actually just found a hole on the back rail here, and I actually used one of the little leveling feet as a bolt. So it actually looks pretty good. Seems pretty solid. Now, I'm not gonna be wrenching on it, but I mean, overall, it's just meant to take downward pressure. It's really not meant to take any lateral load. So I think that'll be okay for now. And overall, it kind of looks pretty slick. Well, here they are, all painted up and installed. Overall, really happy with how they came out. For essentially a free project with just stuff that I had hanging around, I really can't complain. It actually looks half decent. They function really well. You know, now I have a really solid table. I don't have to worry about cutting sheet goods anymore and having that table kind of warp and, you know, fall down at the end there. So, yeah, I mean, there's 1,000 other ways that is better for doing this type of thing. But, you know, overall, I used the stuff that I had in my shop and just kind of made it work as I went. So yeah, I know in the comments, if you guys have better ways of doing this, definitely post them there. You know, I can think of probably 10 off the top of my head, but remember, sometimes we just got to make do with what we have in our shop, and recycle, reuse is always a good thing. And you know, it also keeps the budget low. Like I said, this is a free saw that I'm working on. So I think I spent a total of 30 bucks now on the whole thing, you know, counting paint and some miscellaneous supplies that I had hanging around. So yeah, overall, really happy with the project, and hopefully this can kind of get the juices flowing in your brains next time you have to make a project like this, and you can make some leveling legs for any of the projects that you have. Thanks for watching. Boring Guy DIY.